Now let's look at this code again. So this is the version use the range to loop. So default answer is no. If we find the value, the answer is yes. So one problem with this code is that suppose I give the input is 6. So I first look at the zeros element in the list. 1 is not equal, nothing happened. Then I look at 3, nothing, not equal, nothing happened. Then I look at 6. Then it equals n. So we set answer to yes. But then the code will keep executing, looking at every element later. But we really don't need to do that because if we have already find the value in the list, there's no point in keep looking. We're going to print yes. So at that point, we really want to get out of the for loop instead of keep going. And you're going to find out that oftentimes there are cases that you want to do that. So you can achieve that by using this, using a break statement. So the break statement here says that let's just get out of the loop that directly include this statement, which will be this for loop. So if we see here, then that means we will go to here. We'll just print the answer. So note that this break have the same indentation as the answer, so it belongs to the if statement. So which is the right way to do it. If the break have indentation here, then we are just going to look at the first element and then break. So we want to execute the break only when we actually find the element. So n equals this try number I. So so this just define the break statement. When the execution encounter break statement, we will exit the current loop. So later we're going to have code with loop inside loop, so knowing nested loops. So break will only exit one layer of the loop. So yeah, saying that yeah, it's kind of reminding me of yeah, the movie Inception, where you have dreams inside dreams, and then each kick gets you outside one layer of dream. You need a separate kick to get out of another layer. So this break is like it's like a kick. So let's look at the output of the code. So make a guess. What will we print? What is in particular, which number will be the last number that is printed? So we are printing out the cube number. Last should be 512 because we print 512 and when we print 343, this is still not satisfied. So therefore we keep going until we printed 512. Then we execute this. Then we get out. Now, if on the other hand, this printing statement happens after the if statement, then we should stop before 512. So we should see 343, but not 512. So which is indeed the case. Now we're going to solve this problem using another kind of loop. Instead of using for loop, we use a while loop. So let's first look at the syntax. So the while loop have the form of a while condition followed by colon and then followed by a bunch of statements that are form the body of the while loop. So the meaning is we will first check whether the condition is true. If it's true, we'll execute the body. And after execute the body once, we'll check the condition again. And if the condition is still true, we'll keep executing the body. Anytime the condition is false, we will go out. The loop will end, and then we'll do things after the loop. So basically, we are saying while the condition is true, let's just keep executing the body. So in this particular problem, what we are keep executing is checking whether the number equals I. And every time in the loop, we will add one to the index. And the while condition is we have not reached the end of the list. So because the first element is 0, the last element is the length of trinum minus 1. So when I is no longer less than this, then that means we have exhausted all the elements. So we'll just, the loop will finish. So this is essentially we are implementing the same thing as for x in trinums, compare whether n equals x. So another interesting thing here is we are actually not using additional state variable to indicate whether we have find a number or not. So remember, in the previous version, we have an answer variable, which by default store no. And when we see the number, we are going to set the answer to yes. So here we're actually not using that variable. So the only state variable we are using is this value I. So because the value I actually tell us when did we end the loop. So there are two cases. One case is we find the number n in the list, in which case I will be less than the length of the trinum. So if at the end of the loop we find out that I is less than the length of the list, then the only explanation is that n exists. So the ith element here equals that. That's why we are here. So we can print yes. The other case is we didn't find the element. Then the loop ends when this condition got violated. So when I is no longer less than this, and because we'll keep adding 1, so that must mean I is equal to length. But in any case, that will be the else branch, in which case we'll print no. So this loop variable I here, its value tell us when we exit this loop. So that is the state of whether we can use that as an indicator of whether we have find the element n in the list or not.